I'm here with Dave Remnant from BBC Radio Lincolnshire.
Rob.
For the latest edition of a Blue Army podcast. Quite an eventful day. Liam King's third game in interim charge of the Holy Blues and a third win.
Yeah, excellent win. Tricky conditions for both sides, Rob, with the wind blowing sort of corner flag to corner flag. And at times, Trinity had to sort of dig deep, had to soak up periods of pressure, particularly when John Stewart had to go off with that injury he sustained. It looked like he was playing for a good 15-20 minutes on one leg. So Nathan Stainfield went in goal, not for the first time this season.
Yeah, I think that's his third spell in goal this season.
Absolutely. He seemed to have done everything today. I'm surprised he's not sweeping the changing rooms, cutting the grass and doing everybody's dinner for them.
But that typifies the spirit that's back in abundance at the moment.
One thing I did notice, I mean, I haven't covered Trinity for a few weeks, but things just felt different. You know, you see guys who are prepared to gel together, the enjoyment factor, the smiles on faces, very similar to what Solskjaer did at Man United. I know it's at a much lower level, but the comparison is still there, I think.
Yeah, it's like a breath of fresh air, isn't it, almost?
Yeah, and with Liam being such a respected player, I know he's had some real serious injury issues this season, but for him to still be there or thereabouts on the fringes, and now to actually step up, which he said he hasn't found that difficult to do. And what he's been pleased about is the fact that the players have actually listened to what him and Ross have had to say. They've brought into what he's had to say. I mean, earlier in the season, Trinity would have folded under that sort of pressure and would have come out of it with perhaps a minimum of a point. But they hung on, they dug in, and what a goal to secure the points, really, with Simon Russell. Everybody views Simon as he's well liked within the squad.
He's well liked in the stands.
Yeah, I mean, that curling 20-yarder, we were right behind it, and I tell you what, from the moment it left his boot to the moment it hit the back of the net, that keeper had no chance. It was worth the admission money alone. Yeah,
we've been scoring a couple of really good goals of late, and Wilson's goal was quite good. He'll probably kill me for saying that, but can't be helped. It was quite good last week.
And
Liam had a joke with you, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Post-match interview when he said, "But it's still not goal of the season."
It's still not goal of the season. No,
obviously
there'll be some arguments about
a throwback to his Mikel centre circle log, wasn't it? But showing that we can score the spectacular. But Will Longbottom, he's been growing in confidence as his loan spell's gone on. It's obviously been extended now for a second month.
Yeah, I mean the guys as a whole had to dig deep.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
I know Nathan Stainfield's won the Man of the Match award for supporters, but it could easily have gone to.
It could have gone to 2 or 3 others without
anyone really.
Anyone
put in a really solid performance.
A really solid performance, yeah, and really pleased for Liam and for Ross. And I'm sure the chairman feels the same way. I mean, he had to act decisively. He felt after the Farsley drubbing.
You got away lightly. You got to go on holiday, didn't you? And you missed those.
I did miss those. Yeah, I did. Yes.
And you came back. You sent me a text and said, "What's going on?"
Yeah. It was as if the whole thing had completely turned on its head. But I joked with Richard earlier today. I said, "When can I start calling you Mr. Abramovich?" The way he's getting through managers, but. The one thing he did say to me was that he's not going to rush.
No. And at the moment, while Liam King's having the success that he's having on the pitch, while he's grinding out results...
Well, there's no need to go through that interview process to get somebody here. If he decides that's the way it goes, I think you've got to give it to Liam for the rest of the season now. I don't think you can chop and change.
It's all about preparation, isn't it? You've already spoken about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It is the Blue Army podcast. It's not a Man United podcast. No. But, he's now looking at season ticket adverts that he's getting involved in. Solskjaer, that is. He's planning ahead for next season as if he's the manager. He's still not got it. His contract's still up at the end of the season. At the moment, Liam King will say, "I'm only the interim manager. I'm only looking after it." But already, he will be having ideas in his head about what he needs to do for whoever is going to be Trinity manager next season.
And also, Rob, it'll bring a few more punters through the door as well. I mean, the attendances started to drop, didn't they? And when the decision was made. Hopefully there were. We had a few more here today than there were.
I'm not sure. I didn't catch the attendance
2 or 3
today.
games ago. So it was something. It got down to mid 300s, I believe, and they were getting 700-800. At the start of the season. So
we did have some really good attendances earlier in the season, and they did fall away a little bit. But when you see a team in the playoff spots, even though we were just outside, there wasn't the belief there that it could be our season.
And the results today have enabled Trinity to consolidate that playoff place a little bit more, haven't they?
Exactly. Last 5 minutes, Witten got a winner. I think it was Danny McKenna today, popped up 5 minutes from time. I really fancied Witten if they were away from home. I wasn't sure their home form was quite as good, but they've done us a favour there.
And a surprise result for me, really, Lancaster beating Farsley.
We know the Giant Axe isn't the nicest of places to go.
No.
We got a scrappy 1-0 win up there in the rain. I think that was Mark Cohn's first game back after he'd been in Australia, and it lashed it down for 90 minutes. It was horrendous. But we came out of that with a 1-0 win. And
Scarborough losing, as you say, 2-1 at Witten. So the results went pretty well. I mean, Warrington look as though they're the team to catch. I don't think anybody will catch them now.
And we've obviously got Warrington to go to on the 30th of March.
Yeah, and their defensive record, Warrington's defensive record is the best in the league. And it wasn't until the Warrington game that Trinity's defensive records was only second to Warrington's.
Yeah, but
in the league.
But we kind of got a little bit of that solidity back now. With that, deflected effort past Nathan Stainfield, 5 minutes into added time. First goal we've conceded in over 270 minutes of football. So that's a good reaction as well after 2 home games where we've got turned over 4 and 5.
I mean, clean sheets are a bonus, Rob, at this stage of the season. It doesn't matter how the wins occur. Whether they go out and play fantastic football, or whether or not they grind it out, and they had to grind it out today. It doesn't matter. It's what it says. It's like somebody getting 100. You might not play very, very well, but it's in the book.
Exactly.
In cricket, and it's the same today. People who look at that, Gainsborough 2, Bamber Bridge 1, and it's 3 points. It consolidates Trinity in playoff positions a little bit more.
They're still in 5th position, but
4 points clear now of Scarborough, below them. 8 points ahead of Buxton.
Yeah.
Still 6 points to catch Nantwich though. Who are above that. God, goes right back to that first game of the season, conceding that goal at Nantwich in the 92nd or 93rd minute, whatever it was.
Exactly. But if we can keep ourselves in the playoff positions, who knows what that last game of the season could mean against South Shields.
Absolutely.
It's big looking. I don't know. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself.
No. I think that's wise to do that, and I think having a weekend off next weekend might do them a few favours. It'll just give them that opportunity just to have a little think, sort of plan and stuff.
I'd go against that a little bit just to be controversial. Next week we've had 3 games on the bounce. We've won 3 games. We want to be playing. It's almost like we want to be playing Tuesday, Saturday. I know we've got the injury concerns, but momentum is brilliant in football. You've got that momentum going. You don't want to break your routine. You want to be playing. And how can you have the Saturday off in the middle of the season?
I think that's quite bizarre, I have to say. When I looked at the fixture list, it is quite bizarre how that how that's occurred. But I don't know. I'm going to sit on the fence there. I'm going to feel this. I'm going to feel the fence post sort of pricking my rear end a little bit. But I think I'm going to sit on the fence, and I think it might do them a favour. Well, personally speaking.
At the end of the day, we've got to deal with it. So hopefully it is the ideal.
Yeah.
Opportunity to get a few back. Obviously, Neil Austin's still struggling a little bit. Alex Simmons was close to being involved today. I believe he trained last week, which is a really positive thing. Just need to get him out on the pitch. It'll be like a new signing.
It will, a new player coming back, that's right, yeah.
We've had Ross Hanna make an appearance, only 5 minutes, but it's again good to see him on the field.
Basically, they might score a few, but they concede a few as well,
Yeah, very almost Jekyll and Hyde.
Real Jekyll and Hyde. So, and the away performances have impressed me this season. I've seen Trinity on the road quite a few times this season, and from the situation from 2 seasons ago, and to some degree last season,
the home form that kept us
home form kept them interested. the away form really was quite abysmal, wasn't it? You had
It
players getting nosebleeds, getting onto the coach.
Yeah, we were both at North Ferriby's together, weren't we? When Ashley Worsfold's penalty ended that horrible run away from home.
It was a terrible, wasn't it? Most fantastic game. But
this season, it's gone the other way, hasn't it? We've been better away from home, but I think these last couple of wins have possibly levelled them up now.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's good home and away. So
yeah, I mean,
the
Staley Bridge win. I mean, beating Ferriby. It was the man, all right. Ferriby seemed to be everybody's whipping boys again, but it was the quality of the performance last week. Instead of expecting to turn up and beat them, they went out and performed, beat them well, and beat them well.
Like Matlock have had them at home today, and for a long period it was 1-0. I don't know if that's how it finished. If they maybe got a couple more,
it did finish 1-0. Yeah,
but that almost smacks of a team that have gone out there expecting to win and win comfortably, and actually they've had to fight very hard for it.
Yeah, that's
so it shows the measure of what Liam King's instilling in the players, but professional. Yes, we want to do our job, but we need to do it properly.
Bottom line, Rob, is I think the players go out now and are wanting to play for Liam and for Ross and to back up what they're trying to do. And it just gives you a feeling that maybe that towards the end of Lee and John's reign, that they weren't getting anything like what they're doing now out of the players than what they're doing the last 3 games.
Yeah, it's the clued upness, isn't it? They do seem a little bit more clued up. But those, I don't know, when Leicester won the Premier League, it was all down to small percentages.
Yeah.
And I don't think Liam's gone in and massively changed anything, but he's gone in and tweaked those little percentages, those little...
It's from a player, he's seeing it from a player perspective.
Yeah.
Somebody who knows what it's like to be in the throes of battle, having to soak up pressure, having to dig deep.
And both him and Ross have been in successful teams.
Yes.
And they're applying the little things that they've seen that bring success and know what was missing from their build-up.
Absolutely, yeah.
And
it's great to see. I really do hope that they can continue this form now to the end of the season, because I'll tell you what, it'll make 1 or 2 teams in and around them in the division look over their shoulder a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I think there's 8 games left, isn't there? 8 cup finals.
8 cup finals, absolutely.
Or if we include the playoffs, hopefully. 10 cup finals.
As you say, Rob, who knows what's going to happen for that final game here against South Shields, what they're going to have to do or what they need to do.
Exactly.
So we'll see.
But we'll finish there. But I had to say, hi Phil. See you all soon.